Alright, the top 20 puzzle video game themes chosen by people in our Discord, people in our chat right now, and myself. This right now is Tetris Music 3, which I'd never heard before. From the original NES Tetris game. It has a very Metroid sound to it, but a little more positive. But the boop 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 boop, the wonderful bass notes there, I just think sounds so good. Alright, let's jump into our first selected track. This first one is going to be from, I believe this is a Prince pick. This is from Tetris Effect. The Tetris Effect soundtrack was composed by Hydelic, Hydelic, and they also composed the Res Infinite soundtrack. So for Res fans, because I believe the Res Infinite people did Tetris Effect. I could be wrong, but I believe that's so. Anyways, we'll see how much this gets copywritten. Apparently it doesn't. Leonard was saying that a bunch of streamers do it, but Leonard has been wrong 98% of the time. So we'll start off with Mind Echoes. Okay, good track for getting absorbed into a tense and demanding mechanic. I really agree with that. And something you'd hear in a dark club with lots of smoke. Absolutely. It does have a kind of a futuristic feel to it. The thing with these tracks is that when you play them in the game, the different elements and all the different sequences are brought together depending on how you're playing and where you're at. So it's completely reacting to everything you're doing while you play. These versions are all composed and put together. These are going to be arranged just with an idea of how to make the song probably feel the most effective and probably make it sound similar to what you'd hear in the game. But this isn't, unless you played a certain way, you wouldn't hear the track composed like this. Or arranged, I should say. That was really nice. That was from Tetris Effect. Alright, next up, I don't know if we can bring it that way down yet. I think we need to find something else to bring us down a little bit. Okay, we need to adjust down. So here's one that's a little bit different in the fact that it's from a game that's not necessarily a puzzle game, but this is a puzzle element in it. This is from the card game in Final Fantasy VIII. Now, I would consider this a puzzle game because there's a certain way you have to do things. There's still an element of luck with it, and you have like different strategies you can use. But to me, it feels pretty close to a puzzle, where there are definitely certain much better moves to make in it. I think you can reduce a lot of card games to puzzles in a sense, because you can sort of solve it by making the best decisions. So yeah, I can see an argument for both ways, but it's Final Fantasy VIII, so we'll put it in. I think like it definitely can hear the the cowboy because it's got that dun 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 that American shuffle. The jaw harp gives it that Aboriginal or sort of out in the plains, out in some hot place where this is sort of the lone music you'd hear, where there's just one person playing a jaw harp that kind of reverberates through the canyon or across the deserty plains. So it's a fun little sort of rock tune, and it definitely does have some tension, which is pretty similar to the last one we were hearing in Tetris Effect. So far, we've heard two really tense tracks, whereas usually for puzzle themes, I would think, if you're going to be staring at a puzzle for quite a while, you probably want very calm music that's not going to get annoying as it's being repetitive, stuff that's going to stimulate the mind but not be too obnoxious. And these ones are a bit more tense, but these sessions are quite short, right? So that makes sense. All right, let's move on. Now we can calm it way down. This is from Learn Japanese to Survive the Hiragana Battle. Fountain of Solace. This track is definitely too good not to hear twice. This is really beautiful. This kind of sounds like, doesn't it just sound like you're unlocking the wonders of the universe as you learn Japanese to open further dimensions in your underused brain? This is beautiful. This kid almost sounds like the Mass Effect map theme, but a little cheerier. This is really nice. Really nice piece. Oh, those nice exotic instruments. Great choice. All right, next up, this is from Solomon's Key. I assumed this was a puzzle game. I don't know about Solomon's Key, but I know it's popular, and I like the music from it. So here we go. Yeah, this is quite nice. I like the Beatles drum beat. Cha-cha, cha-cha. and then the shredding playing on there. It's got, I mean, like a lot of NES tracks at this time, because they were so limited, they had to make all the bass stuff really have its own life. The bass just couldn't sit there. It really had to go on its own little journey. And now they're just going crazy on it. But the bass is really telling a story, outlining all the chords. And it's a really beautiful, it does feel like a puzzle itself, the way like the bass line and the top line are sort of intricately interlocking, you know, like two cogs coming together. Wow. There's some really cheeky stuff in here. This is a really fun track. Solomon's Key, great choice. Too intense for a brain puzzle. Yeah, definitely Shovel Knight inspired. I mean, Shovel Knight, definitely inspired by all the tracks from this era. All right, this one. This looks like an edutainment game. This is Freddy Fish 2. I have a bad feeling about this. Freddy Fish 2. Something poo.
There's a ghost in the school, the puppies are scared. The ghost showed up, we weren't prepared. If it doesn't leave, the school is done. 'Cause learning with the ghost is just no fun. The guppies all want to be in class. Learning new things is such a gas. If you could get rid of that ghost, Freddy and Luther would be the most. Algebra, history, and PE. With the ghost around, school cannot be. It's not here, but it might return. We're so scared we cannot learn. A ghost in school is a great big lie. A ghost in school will make us cry. Please believe there's no such thing. We don't want to cry, we want to sing. The guppies are scared, their faces are grim. The ghost was just here and wow, he can swim. It swam through the class, that's his lightning. He's so mean, it's really frightening. In the school, the guppies are scared. The ghost showed up, we weren't prepared. If it doesn't leave, the school is done. 'Cause learning with the ghost is just no fun.
Yeah, this is, I mean, just judging from the look of it, I think this must be one of those games that came out sort of when CD was new on PC, and they thought, how are we going to use this new medium? We can have voiced music, like real voices, real instruments being played, like the actual. If you can hear through the terrible audio quality, it sounds like they have a real band doing all this stuff. At least real voices. Maybe it's old MIDI. It's hard to tell because it's so crappy, but it's actually like a nice song underneath it. It's pretty catchy. It tells a little story. Be a good, great song for a kid or Prince. Yeah, it does sound like it's like press A to continue hearing. Huh. But when they would cram all this stuff onto these old CDs, it was like they just went with the lowest quality bit rate. It basically sounds how this stream looks. Okay, that's enough of that. Edutainment, thank you. Catchy song, though. All right, this is one of my picks. This is from Tetris Attack. This is which stage is this one? This is the flower stage. There's some hilarious, slap bass on here. Super Nintendo game. I mean, it definitely sounds like they just discovered that they could make a slap bass sound on the Super Nintendo chip. But it shreds pretty well, and it's got some really elegant sort of melodic framing around it, chordal framing around it. It's Tetris Attack is a pretty intense Tetris game where the pieces come up from the bottom, and then you're making these matches and you're doing combos. It's my favorite puzzle game ever, and it's always 2-player competitive. And whenever you do combos or big moves, so you like clear them, and as they clear, ones fall down and you can combo those. It's so cool. And then as you get those combinations, you send them over to your friend in terms of like one of those big thwomps that come down on Mario. It's an amazing game. They put it out on the N64 and they called it Pokemon Puzzle League. It's a really good Tetris game. I used to play it on Game Boy and Super Nintendo with my math genius cousin. And he could get more combos than the game could even track. Oh yeah, Mean Bean Machine. We gotta put that in there. Alright, next up is gonna be from... What is this? Golden Sun, Dark Dawn. Doesn't look like a puzzle game from the front, other than this little sun piece here. But maybe it's a puzzle theme within the game. This might be a Sifflon pick. Very oppressive theme. Yeah, this definitely does sound like, one, let's just saying, a pre-boss dungeon puzzle theme. Like you're somewhere dark and heavy. You're moving some big heavy things around. Like big giant cogs, big giant wheels. Sure, ancient castle inhabited by ghosts, vampires. Evil Time Witch? A Time Witch. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, sort of the bit of delay and the like, blang, blang, blang. There's like carefully placed high notes. Make it feel like there are some pieces moving and interlocking. Tony915, the soundtrack for Zelda Ocarina of Time. Me too. I love Zelda theme. Almost all the Zelda soundtracks are top tier. I think Majora's have my favorite music from the 3D Zeldas. Okay, that was Golden Sun, Dark Dawn. All right, next up, let's bring it way down. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about puzzle themes. World of Goo. This is an incredible soundtrack by Kyle Goo. Let's listen. Cool. So I assume we heard, say, like 3 stages of that level. World of Goo, if you haven't played it, is really fantastic. It's one of those games that when they first started making mobile games and games on the Wii, instead of just taking regular gameplay and then trying to make it work with that, they went more of the computer route of like, okay, what could you do with a mouse and a pointer and with clicking? That just, World of Goo, there's something about it that I just really love because it's a unique idea for puzzles. It plays with physics. It's really sort of friendly and cartoony in a way, and you really feel like you're in this little world, kind of the way Plants vs. Zombies did. Fantastic game. Good track. All right, this one is a real hardcore puzzle game, the Talos Principle. This track is called False God. I feel like we've heard this before. Wow, really epic track. I thought this must be like as you're solving puzzles towards the end. I mean, it definitely feels like it's doing an incredible build to something gigantic. So there must be, this has to be like, solve the puzzles, get to the end, climb the mountain, or the cat will die. Or is the cat controlling that robot thing behind him? This is one of the, this is like quite a philosophical game, right? About like what it is to be alive and an AI and to deal with God and stuff. I don't know. That was nice. Let's play our new friend's choice. So when it comes to diagnosing or categorizing what exactly is a puzzle, when you think of the temples in Ocarina of Time, even though you're completing the temple using action and dodging and reflexes and stuff, the whole temple itself is a giant puzzle that needs to be solved. So this is for our friend over on DLive. His name is Tony 915. This is from the Forest Temple Ocarina of Time. They really embraced what they could do with that N64, all those N64 sounds. A lot of voices, and then because they're compressed so much, they end up having this like really cartoony feel to them. It evokes the idea of something moving behind the walls. Oh, absolutely. And things kind of like fading in and fading out. All the elements in it fade in and out, so that you never feel like you're sort of... Maybe this kind of like that triplet gives you some kind of momentum. That's something you can hang your head on. But it's like the most constant is that, and then those synths coming in and out. Oh, it's just a great track. Definitely feels, that's a good one for puzzles. All right, fantastic. All right, next up is from Dr. Mario Online Prescription Music. Chill. You know, I think a lot of times with these type of tracks, it feels like they set up sort of a cutesy theme in the beginning, and then once they get to, I feel like they do about 90 seconds of theme, we're playing it safe, and then they go, all right, we can show that to the boss, and then he'll go like, hi, dozo, daijoubu, very good, very good. And then, like, the second half of the track is always them being like, like, now we're totally gonna shred and play all crazy for just one little section. And they go, yeah, the boss won't hear that part. Yeah. It definitely feels, because in this puzzle game, you're dealing with viruses, right? That are sort of like mutating and trying to take over, and you're trying to combat them with prescription pills. Not really a great message, but apropos of our time. Could I have sounded more pretentious? So there's always that little sinister underbelly. Very good. Beep, beep. Great track. That's a really damn good track. I don't know. I mean, Mario, but we found out that was his last name in the Mario movie, because that's canon, right? All right, another Tetris Effect track. This one is called Deep Dream. Alright, I think One Lich put it really well. You listened to it earlier, it's not really your thing, but you say it demonstrates a more hands-off and less intense facet of puzzle game music. Rather than demanding your focus, it lets you zone out, but enough of a hook to keep you engaged. This track really makes me want to try Tetris. Isn't this a Tetris Effect is a VR game too? I know Prince said he doesn't like Tetris, which really makes me worried about him. How can you not like Tetris? What's not to like about it? It's like the simplest... Wow, that was a good 3 minutes. That just breezed by. He's a nice one. I feel like Tetris lacks a good story. Yeah, that's it. Oh, man. Tetris might be the perfect video game in terms of the elements that are brought together to make it. Matthew Matosas was talking about if you tried to do the game where the pieces were made out of 5 blocks or 3 blocks, like 3 blocks there wouldn't be enough, 5 blocks would be way too many. 4 is perfect because it's all the different actual combinations of the blocks. Which is perfect. Alright. Lack story, 7 out of 10. Alright, this is from... Oh, good God, I'm not liking the looks of this. Hot-Blooded Ambition, Pedal Crash. Alright, let's see. Oh, no? Oh, me likey. Man, there's so many good riffs in here. So catchy, such a great rhythm, bass line. Moves all over the place with its chords, but never feels like chaotic or erratic. Very sophisticated in how this is put together. And just rocks, man. Just jams. I love this. I was really worried when I saw the cover art. That's a C-Flan pick. Way to go, C-Flan. Really, really, really nice pick. All right, next up. So They Say. Oh, this is another Tetris one. Let's stretch it out a little bit before we go back to Tetris. We can play some more Tetris at the end for more of like a party vibe at the end. All right, this is from Opus Magnum, The Alchemist. A one ledge pick. Oh my God, dynamics. bass arpeggio. It's a really, just that bass arpeggio, I think, tells you everything you need to know about the song, because, like One Lich was saying, it's funky, but there's a lot of space, and it's going to these interesting spots which sort of open up the mind. Feels like pieces are coming together from all different aspects. It's all coming together. Things are being assembled. The puzzle is being completed. That's really nice. The percussion, it almost has like a heavy kind of industrial groove to it, but soft. It's not trying to hurt you. It's not trying to be heavy. Everything has got like a nice soft production to it. Hey, Siegfried, welcome, buddy. Ciao. ¿Cómo stai? Really, really great track. Probably one of my favorites. How do I save this? I'll save it later. Next up, I think this is another Tetris track. Yeah, we've got lots of those. Old War Machines from Into the Breach. If you were a fan of FTL, this is the team that made FTL. This is their follow-up game, and it's one of the best puzzle games made in the last little while. It's turn-based, isometric. You control these little mechs. It's sort of like it's actually kind of similar to XCOM, but more of a puzzle than XCOM, because every move is very drastic and there's no percentages. It's not about like missing a sniper shot that you have 99% chance of. Io sto molto bene, Niccolo. Grazie. It's a really, really great idea for a puzzle mech game that you can play on anything. I got it on Switch and it's perfect on there. Hey, what the hell? You give me that back. You give me that back. Nice. Oh, I need a cigarette. That was good. That really took me on a run, baby. Highly recommend this game to anyone who likes good puzzle games, good thoughtful games. It's cheap, and this is, you know how you can like rate games out of numbers, and then it kind of depends what you're into. This game is sort of like a 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10, just for what it is, and then your mileage will vary depending on what genre you're into. But I'd say even if you're into XCOM or any kind of puzzly strategy stuff, it's fantastic. Anyways, that was great. Trauma Team. Trauma Team. This could be nice. Forensics. Dying messages. Is this made by Atlas? Yeah, it definitely has a Persona vibe. It's got a nice mid-tempo, kind of lo-fi hop groove. I find that piano that's going bang gong gang gong ga doom ba doom doom ba dan doom ding doom da doom is gives it that sort of like dangerous. And as long as that piano keeps going, it's almost like the pulse of the Life Machine. What do you think? It's touch and go here. And then this part, a little more celebratory, like you're cutting them open and attaching their arm to their brain to save their leg. Really good track. Trauma Team. Alright, this is from Temple. Temple of the Sky Dragon, Puzzle and Dragons, Z. I'm gonna guess this is a C-Flan track. Yeah, an interesting track. The percussion, the bass, and the bottom feels quite separate from everything on top. It actually has the same similar piano arpeggio to what we were hearing in, not arpeggio, Montuno, I think it's called. That's the one from Trauma Team. Not really what I expected. Okay, next up. Okay, here's a really interesting one. Kapitan Rexionimo. It's got this like Polish. Is that Polish? The instrument choices are very challenging. That's all I'll say.
I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma. I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma. Możesz pojechać do San Francisco, zielony kamień po drodze gnieść, do nieba po schodach wejść i zapukać. Czy ci otworzą, to zupełnie inna rzecz. I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma. I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma. Ile dróg musisz przebiec, ile zmieścić masz w głowie. Zaszczekaj głośno, może wiatr ci odpowie. Jest też człowiek, mówią sobie w mieście, więc dajmy mu szansę, do góry podnieśmy. I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma. I wszyscy śpiewamy, niech pies szansę ma.
Well, oh, this is sung by the hippies in game. Okay, that makes sense. So they're going for like a real, authentic feel. So out of context, it's just a bit crazy. I don't know why I can't sleep. I've been listening to this song non-stop, and I still can't get to sleep. Okay, that's nice. Okay, we got another Tetris Effect, and we had the Zelda Forest Temple. I think we're down to just Tetris Effect songs, I do believe. Whoopsie, popsie, poppity, purr. I think that's a good way to define a puzzle, is that when you've done it correct one time, it opens. It's sort of like Dark Souls, okay. You have to choose to dodge at the right time and attack at the right time. But it's more about doing it 1,000 times to bring the boss down. Whereas a puzzle, once you've got those elements together, it clicks and it opens. We need a portal track in here. We need a mist track. I mean, you could even throw in something from like Grim Fandango as a, I would say that's a puzzle game. All right, let's bang off some of these Tetris Effect tracks. I think that City Lights. What's this one? This is okay. Oh, Horky's got one. Fantastic. All right, this is from Myst 3 Exile. Sponsored by Horky. Brought to you by Horky. Whenever I hear this instrument now, I just think of Drake discovering something on Uncharted. Wait a minute. The Drakes were here in 1632. You know what that means, Sully? What does it mean, kid? It means we have to do some more puzzles before the pirates get here. Turn into undead ghosts. All right, if you're watching the upload on YouTube in higher quality, this will be the end of it. Thanks for watching. Who knows what the next week's theme will be? We'll be discussing that on stream. If you're watching on the stream, stay tuned. We'll be talking about some other things going on in gaming news. Some big stuff going on. And I'll record that as well and put that on as a separate upload for people that miss the talk. We'll listen to some of the leftover Tetris Effect songs. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching and bye-bye.